Okay, 8:15 on Monday, August 8th, and a few comments on the Boise River float. I was just rewatching the video a little bit. It's something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. I've heard a lot about it, obviously, and went down there a couple times and saw people getting out and looked into the rentals and blah, blah, blah. And I've heard people say, don't float Indian Creek. People die in there every year. This is from the first time from when we moved here, as far as Indian Creek, which runs down here through Cuna. When I was signing my papers for the house, a lady told me that a friend of hers died in there. And there's been a couple news stories in the past years that we've been here of people getting stuck and needing to be rescued and stuff. And it basically all boils down to stay out of the branches, stay away from the sides and stay out of the branches and, just stay in the middle and don't get caught in anything. And we've been down there, we see people getting out, with their babies and stuff like that. So we figure, okay, it's safe, so. And then actually when we were on the way there, we saw my old boss, told him what we were doing. He's like, oh, you guys have a great time, just, stay in the middle, stay out of the branches. If you fall out of the boat, put your feet forward and float, with your butt down. So obviously I was concerned, about Autumn and William, and let's make sure that we keep them safe. But if I thought it was dangerous, we would have taken them. So anyway, so we get down there, and I think we had like 20 minutes plus of total video. So you can see in the video that we got the rafts and got launched, and immediately I was having a heck of a time steering that boat, or the raft. I'm in one end, Dara's in the other, so you can see in the video I start scolding her that you need to help me, you need to start paddling. Because I'm sitting there paddling from the back trying to turn the boat, and we're kind of headed toward the side, and I'm like, okay, stay out of the branches. The kids had life vests on, and it was a big deal. I just want to stay out of the branches because I didn't want the raft to pop. So I'm scolding Tara to help steer and and she wants to take pictures and take videos and stuff, of course. And so when we came up on that first, we heard there was 3 drops. My boss told us there was 3 little drops, and he's like, oh, I think the third one you stay in the middle, and the second one to the right, and we're like, okay. So we see you can see in the video, we see the first one coming up, and we're like, oh, okay. You could see spots where you see kind of the white water, and then you see a smooth spot. So we're like, well, it must be mellow right there. Well, of course, right as and when we rented the boat, they just told us, they said, when you go on the little drops, just keep the boat straight. Don't go side. If you're sideways, the boat it can flip, so just keep the raft straight and you'll be fine. So I managed to get the raft perfectly straight, and then as we come up to it, we realized that the reason why you don't see any whitewater splashing is because the water is just going over these huge, smooth rocks. So you can see in the video, we get stuck on the rocks, and we were never in any danger whatsoever. But when we first got it, I was like, oh geez, how are we going to get off here? And I didn't want to step off into the rocks because they were big rocks, and the water was rushing with pretty good force, and I didn't want to get my leg jammed in between these big rocks or anything like that. So I start bouncing, and I realized we can bounce our way out of this. So that's when I think in Autumn, of course, and Will start oh my gosh, because I'm telling Tara, put the camera down and try and push grab the oar and try and push. So, and I'm like, bounce. And the whole thing seemed like it took a lot longer than it did. I just watched it on the video. I think it was about 1 minute and 15 seconds that we were stuck. Well, of course, the kids start, Autumn especially, you saw she panicked, and I'm telling her to calm down. We're fine. Because we were totally fine. We were just sitting on these rocks with maybe, 2 or 3 inches of water flowing over the top of the rocks. And so we're trying to scoot, and then the boat turns, and the part where you hear Autumn scream was some water actually started rushing into the boat. boat raft, whatever, and there's a bottom on it. So at one point we shifted and kind of were sideways, and I think I had my weight down toward the oncoming water, and probably very quickly about 5 gallons came into the raft, and then I shifted real quick and it stopped. But that was the part where she screamed that, you know, the water was coming in, because she probably immediately had visions of Titanic. And so then we managed to get out of that, and so then I'm telling Tara, you need to steer from the front. And so it took a while to figure out how to actually get the boat going, and once I realized that, you know, where I needed her to paddle and what I needed to do, I was constantly telling her, paddle on your right, paddle on your left, and she's switching around and thinking, this jerk is making this a very unenjoyable experience. So when it came to the second rapids, I think again we did look for the smooth spot, and again we got stuck on the rocks. It was no big deal. It was a little bit smaller. The rocks were smaller, so I was able to get out and hoisted the raft off. I think Tara had to get out too. We had to pull the raft off and kept going. And then on that, that one wasn't on the video. And then you saw the third one. It wasn't really rocks. It was almost like a cement block all the way across. And at one point it was higher, and we didn't really see it until we were almost there, and we just missed it. We would have went off the high point, but we just went over the low one, and that was just one big bump, and that was fun. But there were several other minutes of video that, you know, show that it was really a lot of fun and relaxing. Tara got scraped in branches once, and I think you saw in the video that I got hit with a branch once. But other than that, it was no big deal. I think we did see somebody who got stranded on the side or flipped their boat or their raft or something, and there's a lot of people around. Everybody's having a good time, and so it was a lot of fun, and I would definitely do it again. I don't know if Autumn will ever do it again. No, I'm just kidding. She recovered really quickly, and she was very embarrassed about her panic attack being on video, and wanted to delete that video right away because she realized how silly it was. But it was, you know, a scary moment for them, and understandably so. And you know, kind of like you know, when they flipped the thing at Bogus Basin, which was very scary for all of us. Shoot, I was so scared I was able to run halfway back up the ice hill. And you know, it took a while for Jordan and Autumn to recover from that, but they were okay, and we were okay floating the rest of the way down the river, and it was a lot of fun. So that's how it was. It was about $75 for the raft rentals and for the tickets, the shuttle tickets back up to the park where we parked our car, which was actually nothing more than a bus with a whole bunch of bodies crammed onto it, some standing room only, with people trying not to fall over and put their butt in your face. So it was a good time. That is all I have to say about that. Happy anniversary, honey. 11 years.